let's talk about some guard recovery now. First of all, first things first. We're in side control. This is not where I want to be. All right, I've already allowed him to grab my head. I've already allowed him to get chest to chest, and I've already allowed him to connect his knee to my hip. These are like, even worse, the last thing, my arm is way out here. So I've got all the worst things I could possibly have right now. If I try to just recover from here, not only will I not be able to move, but my arms are in danger and he will attack them and submit me. So the first things first is I need to be careful about where I'm putting my arms. Next thing, I need to be making sure he cannot advance to mount. So I'm gonna constantly be thinking about keeping this knee tight to his chest. And if this guy's reckless and just swings his legs over, I'm gonna be ready to catch it, all right? Every now and then, I'll even throw up some bait. So like, see how I've got this knee attached, he can feel that. I'll even act like that's not there anymore, and then it'll kind of trick his senses into throwing the leg over. So just in general, making sure we're not allowing the mount take by keeping this knee tight, all right? We had a question yesterday if you could do this. You can do this, but it's really lazy. This is like if I'm dog tired and I'm just resting, but in general, this is always gonna be better. So rotate this way. Now let's talk about our frames. This frame is most important for my escape. This frame is more in danger for his attacks. All right, so like I said, if I leave this arm here, if I try to just put it here, if I'm not careful, if I lift my big thing is I don't want to do that. All right, that's the number one thing I don't want to do. I want to keep my elbows below my shoulder line. I'm going to hip escape away, and I'm going to get my forearm in on his hip bone. So I'm going to hip escape away, and I'm going to attach my forearm there to his hips. I'm making a wall here. I'm not putting my hand on his hips. If I put my hand on his hips, it's really easy for him to hop over my hand and then like get past that, and then I don't want to be there. So I'm here, so if he tries to go over the top here, I can literally block him always, okay? Now I'm gonna make my second frame. What I like to do is, I like to kind of bump him. So it's really challenging just to sneak, if he's staying tight here, stay tight. It's really challenging to just sneak my arm through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of bridge in him and shoulder bump, and then sneak that under. General rule of thumb, guys, when he's pinning your shoulders, frame him up. If he's pinning your hips, frame him down. Right now he's pinning my shoulders. So I'm gonna bridge and frame him up. I'm gonna hip escape away, and I'm gonna connect my knee to my elbow, my inside knee to my inside elbow. I've made my wall now. Once I've made my wall, I've gotten most of the way there. I just have to now create a little more space so my leg gets through. So I push my head away, I do one more hip escape, I get my leg all the way through, and I can lock him into close guard. In general, you just need to know where you're going with your escapes. I personally like to play butterfly guard, right? So a lot of times when I start escaping, I'll start just framing, sitting up, and getting back into the seated guard position. That is fine too. If you're a beginner, I recommend closed guard, but if you have a little bit more experience, it's not a bad thing to go ahead and start sitting up into these seated guards. Again, I'm gonna hip escape away, connect my forearm, bridge into him. As I kind of fall back down, I sneak that in. Now I'm framing him up as I hip escape, connect my knee, push my head away, hip, and then when I'm here, I'm blocking. So if he tries to grab my head, no way, hip escape one more time, get that leg all the way through, lock, close guard. Just make sure you're assertive with your frames, all right? A lot of things I see out of, especially the kids, is like they frame like this, right? When I'm framing, I'm just like not I'm not gonna let him get any closer. Try to get closer. Come on, try to get closer, man. I'm just not gonna let him get any closer, all right? Hip escape. Keep getting that space back. So I'm making frames, I get this knee inside. My training partner leaves this arm in for a little too long. When you're rolling live, once they start getting this knee in, I do not recommend that's exactly what I recommend, okay? Or at the very most, you could have a tight waist all the way around, that way I can't attack it anyways, but don't just leave your arm kind of shallow here. Because when I'm framing him up and away, now I can bring my knee up, bring that leg over, bite, and now I'm on this little recovery arm bar. I'm bridging into it as I'm pulling, boom. Again, at the very worst, as I start to go for this, he's gonna start pulling away, backing out, which is just gonna allow my recovery to happen even easier, right? So again, make my frames, I start getting back, and then I start to attack right away. As soon as this leg comes up, his spidey sense is going off, so I need to close and pinch. And then I'm on it. Time. Framing knee inside. I have to frame him up and away here, all right? My knee comes up, pinch. Look how I'm controlling his head.
There you go. That's how you go.
Bite.
That'd be amazing.
On the arm. Again, if he pulls away, backs away, that's fine. I just wanted to recover anyway. Okay? This is a really important thing you need to be able to do from these kind of positions, okay? Switch sides just for your foot's sake. All right? So, one thing that I see a lot of beginners do kind of, I wouldn't say it's like wrong, just a habit, is they keep their back on the mat. So like, they'll get really hyper fixated on like recovering, but they never think about like trying to like come up. And even the threat of this will help you recover. So just making sure we're not staying on our back is a really important thing. So what I'm gonna do again is I'm gonna start hip escaping. And I'm not even really worried about my knee coming in this time. What I'm gonna do is just think about framing him up. All right, I'm gonna punch the underhook and I switch my hips. All right, I'm gonna immediately come up on the single leg. Now when I come up, what I don't want to happen is I come up like here in like a front headlock.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay? When I come up, I wanna immediately be to this angle here, all right? I wanna immediately start working to the side, shelving the leg. So again, I'm making my frames. I frame them up, I punch my underhook, and I switch my hips. All right? And now what I'm just focused on doing is connecting his thigh. I can even gable grip to my chest. So I'm just here now. All right, move, Chase, pull your leg out of there. Yeah. So one more time, again, without a partner, I punch the underhook and I switch my hips. And then I go up from there. I need to be able to get up with no hands. Why? Because I need my hands to wrestle. Frame, underhook, and I tuck the head. I'm using this underhook to lift him above me. Onto my single leg. One more time. Frame, up, underhook, punch the underhook, switch. A couple things you need to be ready for. If this guy does it to me, he's, sorry, do the whole thing. All right, he starts to wrestle up. What you're gonna get is you're gonna start getting a guy that'll start standing. Chase is gonna keep following the wrestle up to the single leg, to here, all right? He's got good posture, his head is up. He doesn't want me to push his head in any direction. He wants to keep his head stable. He's gonna take a 45-degree angle out to the outside. He's gonna bow, using his shoulder, pushing my knee down, all right? Do that again.
Oh, and
Yeah. Gets that underhook. Again, you're gonna get this guy, starts to stand. All right? He's gonna run the pipe. Good. I'm here. I'm bowing to the outside. So my hands are gonna slide down like I'm hiking a football to his ankles. My inside shoulder is gonna go right to his knee, or his like inner hip. I'm gonna step to the outside, bow. I like to step in knee cut base. Cool, guys?
one thing. So the one thing you don't want to let happen, and I see a lot of is right here, boom, dropping. The one thing I don't want to see is this. Because he'll frame away and then kick it out. Yeah, so
Keep his head glued the whole time, even when he turns. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to run the pipe. My training partner is gonna keep good balance. I'm like, oh, rah, rah, rah. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. So I go to run the pipe. I wanna imagine this is like charging my double leg. I'm not moving, this is not Street Fighter 2. It's three-dimensional in here. I don't wanna just move forward and back, all right? I wanna move rotational. So my single leg is like this way. My double leg is like this way. Single leg, try to finish, doesn't work. Double leg. All right. Double leg's more of a straight line, but it's like rotate, 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 straight line. Horizontal line.
horizontal
At a 53-degree angle.
on the x-axis.
Rah, rah, rah. Rah, rah. Absolutely. So like my posture matters here. So like when my head's down low, he can absolutely gilly me, right? But literally just by having like my head up high like this, like I'm not getting guillotined there. So as soon as I commit to switching, right? Remember guys, even using this underhook wrestle up, so like maybe I start wrestling up, but he starts getting some space, well that's fine, I'll go back to my guard now. Just make sure we're not getting the habit of just trying to do this. Because if he starts running around, we're gonna be like when I could just like come up, and now maybe he defends that, but maybe I sit back to my guard and I've recovered. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. For more core videos like this, click the link here, and to subscribe to my awesome channel, click the link here. Do me a favor, have a great day.